I mean, what can I say? Just wow. Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls 5, such a well-made game, and I really hope Elder Scrolls 6 carries the legacy of the Elder Scrolls universe. I mean, the first time playing this game, running through Riverwood, I actually went to jail really early on into the game because I just stole every item from Riverwood and the guards caught me. And I mean, just the beauty of this game when you go through it and you get to see everything was so amazing. I mean, the Thieves Guild, it was a very good quest line all the way up until you had to return the skeleton key, and all those stone bazaars or whatever they're called was very, very annoying, and all those miscellaneous quests. The Dark Brotherhood, honestly, probably one of the best quest lines in the whole of Skyrim. I mean, one thing that I didn't really care too much for was the Dark Brotherhood characters. I feel like they could have more in-depth characters in the Sanctuary itself, but it was such a well-made storyline, and Astrid, like, oof. And like Cicero, honestly one of my favorite companions out of the whole game. And it's very cool how you have the choice to kill him at the end or let him live. I find letting him live is a lot better than actually just killing him. But it was kind of disappointing coming back to see the whole Dark Brotherhood being completely destroyed, especially coming from Oblivion. Oblivion was so good, but in Skyrim, it needed to happen just because of lore-wise. But the lore in this was such well done. I mean, it's just wow. And the Emperor, I never thought that you would get the choice in a video game to assassinate the Emperor. And it's pretty cool because once you visit the Jarl of Windhelm or Fake Stormcloak, he will actually have lines of dialogue saying you can't invade the Imperial City because the Emperor is visiting and they don't want a whole like war. But I remember seeing the first time seeing the 20,000 gold, and it kind of sucked because you had to put it right back into the Dawnstar Sanctuary. But I did not do that. I ended up actually doing it later on though, and it was kind of worth it. But Nazar was pretty neat, and overall, I have to say the Dark Brotherhood was one of the best. The Call of Winterhold. It was a very good quest line and had lots of lore into it that you probably missed just because of how in depth the lore was. For example, when you go to the Dwemer dungeon and you go to look for the location of the Staff of Magnus, there's one of the dudes from the Order from the Imperial City. Because if you actually don't know, in Oblivion, after the events of that, the Mages Guild actually gets shut down, and the dude that you see in the dungeon, he's actually part of that faction, but now it's more of a political thing. And I have to say the best companion I got of her was Zargo. I mean, he is not only the best, but he always claims he is the best, and he's such a great companion. And a side note, one of my favorite things to do in this game was to actually build a house. I know it's one of the DLCs, but I just had so much fun doing this. I ended up building the two homes, the Hedgemern Fall and the Riverwood Fall. But Daedric armor, I have to say, is probably one of my favorite armor in all of Pirate Tamriel. And another one of my favorite is the Nightingale armor. I mean, I use that all the time just because of playing a stealth archer over and over and over. But it's just amazing looks too. The Civil War quest line. Honestly, I had to say was a very, very good quest line overall. And I've always sided more with the Imperials and the Stormcloaks. And it's funny how the Stormcloaks always claim to be the true natives to Skyrim, or like Skyrim's their homeland. And I could see that, but it's actually the Falmer, or known as the Snow Elves, if you know the lore behind that. But I just love the Empire. I mean, well, not so much the Empire in Skyrim. I prefer the Empire in Oblivion way more than the Empire in Skyrim. And one of the questions I had was, What happened to the armor? Why is the armor so basic in Skyrim compared to Oblivion? I mean, I know it's 200 years different, but I think they could have kept up with the armor and overall, like, the Empire is so weak. Like, where did they go? Especially in Oblivion, I was actually a fan of the Empire, and playing through the Empire quest, I had to say it was just really, really good overall. And honestly, the Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak was honestly very fun to fight alongside of too, and just overall was great. Honestly, I loved the main quest, but I hated Delphine. Delphine was one of the worst characters I've ever met. Not just her, the Thalmor too. I hated the Thalmor. I hate her. Honestly, when we first got the invitation to go to the Thalmor, I wish there was an option to destroy him, but there's not, which would be very cool to see in Elder Scrolls 6 an option. But I think one of my favorite characters in all of Skyrim is Parthenyx. I mean, like, that is just awesome to see a friendly dragon. And this dude right here, Tucson or whatever his name was, that dude was fucking huge. I've never seen anybody else as big as him in any of the Elder Scrolls games I played. But it was pretty cool to go to Sovngarde and see some of the people that like you killed or some of the people that you saw die. You get to go to Sovngarde and you see him there. Like, I'm pretty sure you get to see Ulfric Stormcloak if you complete the Imperial quest line or just the quest line in general for that. And so that's one pretty neat detail. But otherwise, the main story was great. Honestly, the DLC in Skyrim I thought was really great. Probably some of the best DLC I've ever played, especially the Dragonborn. But my favorite DLC was the Dawnguard DLC. I thought that was amazing. It was pretty neat how you could fly dragons and stuff on this one. And one of my favorite things out of it was all the black bugs and the dragon aspect shout. I mean, I've used that basic every time I played. I've always gone and got that pretty early on from Mirag. And just the boss fight from it was pretty cool. And on the Dawnguard DLC, I loved meeting like the vampires and becoming more in depth in Molag Bal. And just visiting the castle was honestly pretty cool. And Serrano was probably the best companion besides Zargo that I've ever had. And one cool thing that I really liked was the Soul Game. I thought that was pretty just like really like well done. And there was so much stuff to do in there. Like, there was loads of weapons, loads of different like minor lore things in there. And one of my favorite things out of this was the Ariel's bow. But if you did enjoy, please subscribe and please leave a like. And I thank you for watching. And wow, I love Skyrim and look forward to more videos. Little kid. But thank you for watching and have a blessed day.